Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Live with Patricia Musey, hypnotherapist. I'm so glad you're here because today I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, hypnosis. This is such a powerful, powerful tool. I don't think people really realize how powerful hypnotherapy is. So I'm really excited to share with you today what is hypnosis, right? How does it work? Why does it work? And what is it used for? So those are some of the questions that we're going to answer today. So let's start off with what is hypnosis. So hypnosis is a natural altered state. So you are in an altered state, but it's a state that we all experience all the time. So it's that time when you have very focused attention on one thing. So as an example, you're driving down the road and you miss your exit. Welcome everyone who's coming on. I see there's two people there. So you're driving down the road and you miss your exit and you're kind of come out of this trance. So that is a natural altered state. And when you're in this state, what we do in hypnosis is we're bypassing the critical factor or the conscious mind. So if you think of our mind as sort of a circle like this, and the top part is our conscious mind. So the conscious mind is the part that analyzes, rejects ideas. And so it is that very analytical part of your mind, the mind that you think and worry with. That's the conscious mind. And part of the conscious mind is called the critical factor. And so this is sort of like the gatekeeper. It really accepts or rejects thoughts as they come in. So that's the conscious mind above the line. Below the line is the subconscious mind. So that is where we store our emotions, our memories, our values, our core beliefs. And that part of our mind is usually we're not aware of. And that part of our mind is such a powerful, it's also what accepts and rejects suggestions. So that's why hypnosis is so powerful, because when we quiet the conscious mind, we relax the conscious mind so that we're talking to the subconscious, which is really where change happens. When we're doing that, that part of our mind accepts the suggestions that I give you in hypnosis. So if I'm giving you the suggestion that I am now and forever a non-smoker, for instance, or I am at my ideal body weight, whatever that suggestion is, it's getting in at a deeper level. So it's different from an affirmation. You know, affirmations are very popular and they're great, but if they don't get beyond that critical factor, they're not, they're not manifesting what you want in your life. But it doesn't mean that you stop doing them. Still do them, because that positive expectancy, that's another part of the mind, is that having that positive expectancy really strengthens the power of the mind to create what you really want in your life and to overcome the barriers. Like if you do have depressed feelings or anxious feelings, or you can't sleep at night, or you find yourself incessantly worrying, or you just don't feel happy, all those things can be remedied through hypnotherapy. So why does it work? So suggestion is the key to hypnotism. So as I said, as we quiet the conscious mind in hypnosis, when those suggestions that I'm giving through the hypnotic programming, that's what makes the difference. Also, hypnosis implies that there's a susceptibility to suggestion. So there are some techniques and exercises that we do as hypnotherapists to ensure that the person is open to the suggestion that I'm about to give. And then once new information has entered and been accepted by our subconscious mind, then that new programming becomes real. It becomes real for the person, for you, for the mind. So it's a very powerful way to make change in the mind, which is going to lead me to the first rule of the mind that I wanted to talk about, which is that every thought or idea causes a physical reaction. So if you think about, your thoughts can affect all functions of your body. So excessive worry triggers changes in your stomach and can ultimately lead to ulcers. Or angry thoughts can stimulate your adrenal glands, and that causes your body to change, so that increased adrenaline in the bloodstream. And then anxiety and fear affect your pulse rate. So all of those things are physical reactions to thought. So I'm going to do a little exercise for you. So if you're driving or not in a place where you can close your eyes, please ignore what I'm about to say. So just take a minute and close your eyes and listen to the words that I'm about to say. So just close your eyes and relax and take a big breath in. And now as you allow your eyes to close, I'd like you to actively imagine, think about, sense, or feel as if I've just walked into the room with a platter of big, yellow, juicy lemons. The lemons are sliced and they're laying out on the plate. They're beautiful yellow, and I'm going to lift a wedge up to your mouth of this juicy yellow lemon, and you take that lemon up to your mouth and you take a big bite out of that sour, yellow, juicy lemon. Imagine that lemon juice is just washing through your mouth, across your lips. Imagine as if you bit into that juicy, tart, sour lemon. And whether you like the taste of lemons or not, you can imagine as if you've just bitten into this very, very sour lemon. Now you can open your eyes. So, some of you may have experienced that your mouth begins to water, right? Just like maybe you felt it puckering, just as if you had bitten into a lemon. So this is the power of our mind, and it really shows you that body-mind connection. So a few more facts about hypnosis. First, hypnosis is not an instant cure. So it is a faster process than some other therapy modalities. And yet it's not a quick fix. It's not a panacea. It will take multiple sessions usually to get to your goal, whatever that goal is. And for most of the people that I work with, I'm working with women in midlife who are lacking motivation and maybe have some worried about the future and have maybe some emotions that are just not quite cleared out. These are all powerful ways to use hypnosis to clear that out. 90% of people can be hypnotized. So I have talked to people and like, well, I'm not sure I can be hypnotized, or maybe they had tried it before. But there are only 90% of the people can be hypnotized. There are a few things that to be hypnotized, you must want to be hypnotized. So, if you're not interested or you don't want it or if you don't believe it's going to work, then it's probably not the tool for you. You must have confidence in the hypnotist. So we would build a rapport with each other if we were working one-on-one. You begin to trust me, and we would build this rapport so that it builds confidence. And plus, I'm an expert in my field, so that also helps, right? I had extensive training and practice. You must be willing to accept suggestions. So as I talked about before, when you're in hypnosis and I'm offering these suggestions, you need to be open and willing to hear that. And you must be free from fear. So if you're afraid of what might be uncovered, or what might happen in hypnosis, that would also deter you from being hypnotized. And you also must have a willingness to let go of control. But I will lead you that there is a myth that you're under the control of the hypnotist, and that is not true. You are always completely in control when you're in hypnosis. But you do need to let go and allow the hypnotherapist to work with you in a cooperative way to get the most out of it, to get the most benefit. So you can't be hypnotized against your will. So it's not like you could be sitting to dinner with a hypnotist and they could hypnotize you. That can't happen. A lot of people think of stage hypnosis where people are doing things on stage that you're thinking, I would never do that. But they do have a willingness to participate in the game. A person who's being hypnotized can't go against their own moral principles. So you're always aware, and there's really an acute awareness. You're awake. That's another myth, is that people think that you're asleep. You're not asleep. You're fully aware. You're just in a very relaxed state, and your conscious mind is very relaxed. And again, a person cannot be made to do or say anything that they don't want to. You're completely in control. And you remember the session. So let's go on. So some other rules of the mind. So one rule of the mind is what is expected tends to be realized. So that's where I was talking about that positive expectancy. So you have to have within you sort of this positive attitude that what you're doing is going to work. That is a powerful message to your mind that you want this and that you're open to that. So because our mind works on our imagination and pictures and images, so it doesn't matter if they're coming from the external world or from in our internal mind, our mind really doesn't know the difference. So if you think about worrying is a form of programming a picture of what you don't want. It's sort of like the things that I have feared have come upon me. So it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So worrying is really detrimental to the progress that you want to make. So because worrying is a way of reprogramming your mind to have something that you don't want. So it's also with anxiety. So anxiety is really the subconscious mental expectancy that something terrible will happen. So it's that anxiety that something bad is going to happen at any moment. That anxiety also creates an internal bodily reaction as well as an external manifestation. The other rule of the mind is imagination is more powerful than knowledge. So when you can imagine yourself in a future that is imbued with this new life that you want, of happiness, joy, peace, to be motivated towards your goals, to fulfilling your purpose in the world, then that's more powerful than just knowing, having the knowledge. And that's why working with just the conscious mind is not, because that's really knowledge, right? That's where the knowledge comes from. Subconscious is imagination, and that's really where manifestation happens. So when dealing with the subconscious mind and its functions, the greater conscious effort you're having to make, the less the subconscious responds. So the one thing about hypnosis is that I really ask you to relax into it, right? You should not be trying to make anything happen, because once we start to push and try and work hard at something, the subconscious shuts down. So you want it to be easy and effortless. And those are some of the words that I use in hypnosis, is ease and effortlessness. So this sort of explains why willpower doesn't really exist, because if you have insomnia, you've learned that no matter how hard you try to fall asleep, you can't. So when you're trying to fall asleep, it doesn't work. When you can relax and let go, you can fall asleep more easily. So hypnotherapy is very powerful for people who have trouble sleeping, for anyone who's experiencing depressed feelings or anxious feelings, for phobias and fears, for lack of motivation, self-esteem, a lack of confidence, resolving anger and hurt feelings, unforgiveness, all of these, finding your purpose in the world, all of these things, hypnotherapy is very powerful in making the change in your life that will move you to the next level, to this next phase in our life, where we want to feel empowered and confident women to make a difference in the world. So this is a little bit sort of an overview, kind of a quick recap about hypnosis, some of the myths and misperceptions about hypnosis, how powerful your mind is, and how hypnosis can help you in your life. So if you're interested in learning more, if you'd like to set up a session with me, we can do a 45-minute free session to talk about where you're at and to see if hypnotherapy would be appropriate for you. So you can go to my website, www.patriciamuesse.com, and there you can sign up for a call. Also grab my free guide to mental relief, which is helping that mental chatter that we all struggle with. So I hope you found this helpful. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you next Wednesday, 5 o'clock Pacific and 8 o'clock Eastern. Take care.